I'm a repeat offender to myself.
I remember every struggle. Some call them the good.
We have a peanut gallery with us today on HeLLo, and there it is. Yeah, I forgot my little toy thing, so we got you, Frank. So here we got JahN XaiVeR. That is a very elegant name. I mean, and you know, where are you from?
I'm born and raised in New York City.
What part?
I was born in Mount Sinai Hospital.
Okay.
Lived in the Bronx for a while as a kid, Forest Heights. We took a little detour to Hollis and Jamaica, Queens for a little bit, which was awful. And then I grew up mostly living since I was about 12. We moved into the village, so I grew up downtown.
Wow. So did you go? What school did you go to?
I went to school. By the time I got to Manhattan, I was going to a school called Clinton Program. It was like a test school for like bright incorrigibles. Like we were the kids they couldn't put in 600 schools. They didn't know what to do with us. Like we were fuck ups, but we were smart. Incorrigible.
You know where I first heard that word, incorrigible? You know where
did a teacher say it to you?
No, in The Sound of Music. One of the kids, when Maria is going through all the kids, the boy says, "I'm incorrigible." And I never knew what it meant, but it sounded good.
Basically, it was just a loosely structured school.
Where was it?
It was on, initially it was on 94th and Park. And it moved down to 60th and Amsterdam, 60th and 10th Avenue.
Ah.
And I met some lifelong friends there. That was where I...
Did you learn how to be a criminal in this?
No, like I said, it was like, we were all kind of like smart fuck-ups.
Yeah.
You know, like, so we were
white
mostly
collar
music nerds, and I mean, there was criminal behavior, but not mostly against property.
Okay, that's cool though. So you're still friends with these people from high school?
Quite a few of them, yeah. One of them, we started a band together called Blessed, and started to get ready to play at CBGBs and Max's. I mean, I had grown up around music, so I had grown up with relatives in the music business.
Like who? Like, because you have some history. Like, you've played with a lot of interesting people.
Yeah.
Any name of you?
That I've played with personally. I played with Richard HeLLo and the Voidoids.
Right.
I had a band called the Nightcaps with the Uptown Horns. Played with Sylvain. I'm going to leave people out.
Okay.
So, but just a lot of nice people along the way.
That's amazing.
I started. Well, I.
So how did you stay so healthy?
I didn't always.
I'm sure. Right. But you were just
but eventually time marches on, and if you're serious enough about wanting to play, I've noticed that a lot of the people who over the years got, there were a lot of people. Obviously, I started hanging out in CBGBs in 1977, and so over the years, a lot of people have passed away. Obviously, and those of us who are still out and doing it, it's kind of self-selecting. People who are
what'd you
really
wear? Do you remember what you wore to the gig?
Didn't stay.
Like, what'd your hair look like then?
I've had the same haircut since I was about 12.
Really? Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So I started hanging around. I started playing.
You look like the Sound of Music kid, right?
I was lucky enough to get a job playing with Richard HeLLo and the Voidoids when I was about 16, and that really took me out into then. I sort of decided that I wanted to play more.
So was he like a mentor to you?
No, but he was nice enough to like give me a job when it was a pain in the ass for him to take me on the road at 16. Club owners and everything else getting in our hair about it.
It was easier then than it is now, though.
Yeah, much. Well, the drinking age was still 18 in a lot of states.
Yeah.
So. But I was going out into where I was 16 playing in clubs where I was 21.
Like other states, you mean?
Yeah. We were on tour.
Yeah, other states.
Then I formed a band called the Nightcaps, and we ended up getting to make a couple of records. We made a record for Sire, and that took us out touring with people like U2 and the Ramones and stuff.
Wow. Madonna was on Sire.
Madonna was on Sire too. Yeah. We didn't have the same career arc. Didn't quite.
Yeah.
One catalog number away. All the difference in the world.
That's true, right? Yeah, but that's pretty cool. What was it like touring with Bono?
They were really nice. They were really nice to us.
That's good.
They were really. It was a while ago. It was when they were touring to support the album War. We were over in Europe with them. They were.
That's so cool.
Oh, they were really nice people. They were one of the few bands that I've opened, and I've opened for hundreds of bands over the years. And they would cover their equipment, so we didn't look unprofessional playing in front of their equipment. They would like roll their stuff back. They gave us full sound and full lights. The only night we didn't get a sound check on the whole tour came with a bottle of wine, a bunch of flowers, and an apology saying, we're getting close to London, we're rehearsing songs, so sorry you didn't get a sound check. Nobody's ever apologized.
Wow, when did we get a sound check?
Let alone with a bottle of wine and flowers.
Wow.
Please come to the party after. They invited us to every party. They were really nice people.
That's really nice.
Really
They're
nice
cool
guys.
rock stars. Well, now they have a show on Broadway. Yeah, Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's keeping the equity pension fund lowered, I guess, with all those insurance plans.
Well, they don't have anything to do with that part. Exactly. My friend's the makeup artist on that show. And she said that they're really nice also.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that's cool, right?
Yeah.
So what are you doing these days? I see you have a new record.
Yeah.
Album, CD. I still call it a record.
Yeah, I call it a record.
Because it is a record.
It's a record of what you're doing.
Exactly, that's right.
Even album is still appropriate.
That's what I said next, right?
Oh,
exactly.
Even album
It's
is
a CD. Now, like, CDs are the things that, like, don't mean anything because it's really all digital now anyway, but it's a digital album or a digital record, right?
Surprisingly, there have been a lot of people buying it on
Good for you.
Amazon and the usual suspects, buying the physical copies.
Now, why do you think you're so popular?
It's good.
Good. Okay.
There's a great
It's
picture on the back.
good.
I like
It's a
that.
great picture.
I do good work.
Did you write all the songs?
Yeah, I did.
And do you play every instrument or?
No, I play the guitars on it.
Okay.
I have Charlie Roth, who's a bass player, keyboard player, drummer extraordinaire. He's kind of my musical director, musical Sherpa, I call him.
That's nice.
Charlie Roth is known to a lot of people in the city for working with just about everybody and being the nicest guy in the world. And Denny McDermott plays drums on this album.
I know Dan.
Yeah, Denny's an old friend, and although Denny right now is working with somebody else, so Tom Curiano is playing with the Bowery Twins. By the way, I'll throw in a plug. We're playing at Arlene's Grocery on November the 20th at 8 p.m.
Cool.
So
That's a Wednesday.
that's a Wednesday. Good.
Yeah, I
Good.
know every
You got the
Wednesday.
calendar.
Just I know Wednesdays.
Oh, right.
I know the date of every Wednesday pretty much. Yeah.
So this is just a collection of songs. After the Nightcaps, I was playing for a long time, and then I kind of didn't want to play for a little while. I didn't feel like I had, I know when I have something to say and when I don't.
Yeah, I know.
I kind of just felt like, so I played with a wonderful bunch of guys, Al Matty, who was my partner in the Nightcaps, and Dave Conrad from the Uptown Horns Band, and Ham from Black 47. And we had a band called Sugar Time, which was just a deep soul cover band. And that kind of brought me back to wanting, all of a sudden I said, well, I've got this nice collection of songs, I'd like to play them.
So, like,
It
are
just
you writing
evolved.
anything now?
Yeah.
So, like,
There's
what
another album.
what songs are you writing, like, kind of right now? And what's it about?
Interesting question. I'm writing a song. I like to write songs about things that, maybe it's kind of oblique what the subject is, but it's about how it makes you feel, kind of. And
Can you tell me, like,
yeah,
the
this
chorus?
song,
Or, like,
not really. It's evolved so many times. Right now it's an idea, and there are
Okay.
little lines here and there.
can you say
But
it
it's
again?
about waking up. When I was a little kid, my mom used to wake me up to watch the Apollo moonshots. Like, I used to love that, like that excited, like that feeling like nothing ever was going to be as big as that ever. And I need a really good up-tempo opening song, and I'm writing a song called Blast Off, and it's just about like the sort of the layout of seeing,
So do you
to all
believe?
the boys on the pad, we want you to know you're the best thing we've ever had, and just sort of building
So
up.
do you believe they
Sounds kind of
walked on the
silly if
moon?
you're
Do you
telling,
believe the
actually.
man walked on the moon? There's that whole
Oh my God,
controversy.
those people.
What is that?
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Do you think they walked on the moon?
my
I think
God.
it's real. It looks real to me.
I don't think there's even a question.
Why
But think about it this way.
About it
Think
being
about
a
it this
question
way.
Until like
This-
not that long ago.
Nobody in our government can ever keep a secret about anything. But all these tens of thousands of people involved really have all kept their freaking mouths shut
So
to this
wait,
day? Do you
wait,
think that's
I don't
within the
know.
capacity of these
Do
people?
you think that all of those speculations of things then are just speculations?
No, there are lots of. I never met a conspiracy I didn't like. I'm a big fan
Of the conspiracy.
of lots of conspiracy
Yeah.
theories, but I think men freaking walked on the moon.
You
I
do.
mean, really.
Yeah.
It's just,
So do you think they'll ever do it again, or will it be another planet?
I think we'll use the moon to go further. I think the moon's going to become the base.
So that's where we'll get lunch?
That's where we'll stop. Yeah. This-
Yeah, that would be the place
Listen.
to be.
If they could put 7-Elevens in the East Village, they could definitely put them on the moon.
They're everywhere. So it is National Nachos Day,
Yes.
and we would love to share some with you and get a good skeleton. It seems like you have
Oh my
a
God.
very rich past.
I was hanging out in clubs since I was 14 years old. I
Yeah.
don't know.
What kind of fake ID did you have?
Skeleton. Didn't need it.
Really?
Didn't need it. Didn't need it. Well, the first
When
time
did
I
you
went to
start shaving?
CBGB's, I made a reservation so I would have a table. So they
Wow.
wouldn't bother me for being underage. And this great waitress who used to work there, remember Ellen? The big brown curly hair? And she walks up to me and my friends at the table at CBGB's. We're like 14 or 15. And she just looks at us and she goes, yeah, uh-huh, no. Cokes? Those are the first words anybody ever spoke to me at CBGB's.
Aw.
But then I used to run around and just stay away from Karen Crystal because she would want to sniff my drink all the time. She would
Wow.
actually dip her finger in my drink and lick it to make sure it wasn't
You mean
alcohol.
Hilly's daughter?
No, Hilly's wife.
Wife. Ah,
Karen.
Lisa was his daughter.
She owned the liquor license.
Karen.
So,
What's the Karen? It wouldn't be no CDs.
oh,
Right.
absolutely. Karen Crystal. It's a damn shame that Karen Crystal is not portrayed in that film.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see the movie?
Oh, I saw it
What'd
3
you think?
times. I saw it at the
Oh.
premiere with everybody, with all
Good for you.
all the crew. What do I think of it? It's Hollywood.
And it's there.
It's a love letter to Hilly, and that's well deserved.
And Hilly is,
You
yeah,
know,
I
mean,
agree.
just to see Hilly,
Yeah.
you know, be portrayed as a good character, as responsible for the kind of scene he was. I mean, he was like
Oh,
a
he was
father
the
to
best.
so many
He
of
was
us.
always a nice
I
guy.
mean, he would look out for me as a kid. You
Yeah.
know, he would call. I remember one time, you know, my parents hadn't seen me in a week or so, and so finally I come up to CBGB's and Hilly's standing outside. She knew my parents, and he's just like, no, you gotta go home. Your parents called. And then I go over to Manic Panic and Tish and Snooki are like, nah, can't come in. Your parents called. They had like shut me down all over
It was
town.
like
I went to
before cell
Max's.
phones,
I went to
too.
Max's and Laura Dean's like, nah, you can't come in. That's it. And finally,
So
I
tell
was
us a story. Like, what kind of trouble did you get in?
Oh God.
What
What kind of trouble didn't I get in? God, I got locked out of my house because I had an upper respiratory infection. I was like 15, and XTC were playing in the city for the first time.
Okay.
And my mom's like, "Don't you dare leave the house!" And of course, I snuck out. I came home and the locks were changed.
Oh
She
my
actually changed the
God.
lock. My father's going, "Okay, Sheila, enough," and she's going, "No."
Wow. Well, you
Okay,
let
I'll
us
give you a
know.
skeleton.
All
I'll
right.
give you a
Thank
skeleton.
you. Thank you.
All right, I'm sitting at CBGB's. Now, this is about 1978, and the place was getting flooded with what we call bridge and tunnel people.
Yes.
And it was, but really, there were like these obnoxious guys in leisure suits coming to pick up punk rock chicks.
Okay.
You know, and they would come in and they would, you know, stick out like sore thumbs, and they would be obnoxious, and they would get incredibly drunk and have to be carried out. So one night, I'm watching this guy at the bar, and I'm like 15 or 16, and he's getting progressively drunk, and he's sitting to my left, and so I kind of ignore him, and I'm like, he's been leaving this pile of cash on the bar all night. I'm like, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. Fuck this guy, you know. And so it's sitting there on the bar, and you know, I turn away, and I look back, and the guy's gone. So I'm thinking he's gone to the bathroom. I put my hand on the money, and I was immediately seized up by the shoulders. What I hadn't realized is that a bunch of Hell's Angels had come in, and Bert the Hook had put, you remember Bert with the hook? He had put his money down where I thought that guy's money was. I put my hand to try to steal some Hell's Angels money off the bar. They dragged me outside. They dragged me. I mean, I was lifted up on my shoulders like, whoa. And they carried my ass outside, and they were about to beat the living crap out of me. And Lisa Crystal, the one nice thing she's ever done for me.
Leave him alone! Leave him alone! If you put one hand on him, you're never coming back in here!
And they loved having Hell's Angels at Stevens. They were always welcome there.
Yeah, Bert, man, when Bert got a little loaded and he started playing with that hook near your throat, ooh. Ooh,
Wow.
ooh.
Wow. So what's your website?
You can find me on Facebook. I'm JahN XaiVeR.
And do you have any gigs coming up?
The record's available on Amazon,
Nice.
iTunes. JahN XaiVeR and the Bowery Tongues. The name of the album is Yes You. It's available through all the usual suspects.
Good for you.
And like I said, we're playing at Arlene's
Yes,
Grocery.
November 20th.
November 20th at 8 p.m. That's pretty much it. I finished my lunch.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming by. Come by
Well, thank you so
anytime.
much for having me.
Because I have a feeling you have like a lot of things that you could share. And
Well,
we
one or three.
what?
I'm sorry.
I know, that's what we like to do.
One or three.
Yeah, you have a lot more to tell.
Come back anytime.
That would
Thanks
be
so
great.
much for having me.
Yeah, and next time you'll play a
Great
song.
stories. Thank you.
All right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
next time I'll come down and do a song.
That sounds great. All right, well,
Thanks for having me.
thank you so much. We will be back. More.
Old days. Seems I'm always caught between those times and the good times on the way. You asked me to put